Hi, I'm Gayla Scrivener, ex-corporate girl and now work-from-anywhere adventure seeker. Creating a work-from-anywhere lifestyle isn't without its challenges, but those challenges certainly don't overshadow all the many benefits. What breaks my heart is seeing folks stuck and unhappy in a career and lifestyle when they want more out of life. I believe that we all have the opportunity to create the life of our dreams and earn a living in fun and creative ways to make our dream lifestyle a reality. You too can experience wonderful adventure and freedom as you live life on your own terms. In this weekly podcast, I share experiences when it comes to growing a lifestyle business through guest interviews, content marketing experience and perspectives, virtual leadership lessons, and I'll even throw in some travel adventures. My hope is through all the interviews, the tips, advice, and personal experience, you'll be inspired and motivated to keep going and creating your dream lifestyle. Life's an adventure. There's no time but the present to live life to the fullest. Happy New Year and welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here. If this is the first time you've joined me, welcome. I do hope you'll find the show helpful and inspiring. And if you've been following for a while, oh boy, I appreciate your continued support. Now, I do hope that your holiday was a good one, and I know mine was because anytime I get to hug on my 4-month-old grandson, even if it's only for just 2 days, it's a good time. I certainly dropped everything else during that time so that I could love on him as much as I could without distraction. Spending time with other family was great too over the holidays, but I'm really taken to this grandma thing. Let me tell you, I am loving this season of life. Now I'm going to go right into the show and ask you a question. What's your game plan for 2021? I know that 2020 was certainly interesting, a very difficult time for many, and for others, it was a time for growth and discovery. Most certainly, all the changes and concerns had all of us pushed out of our comfort zone. Although things don't magically change when we ring in the new year, it never really has, right? But the effects of the pandemic didn't magically disappear with the drop of the ball on 2020. Whereas most of us were doing a lot of reflection time in December and making plans, now it's time for action. And I would love to hear what your action plans are. How are you taking action? After all, results won't come without action. Back in episode 132, I shared 3 of my top goals for the year. Number 1 was ramping up content production for Scrivener Solutions. Number 2 was developing, improving, and documenting SOPs already in motion for our company, our clients, and then sharing with you. And number 3, on a personal note, is to sell our RV. Now, I'm proud to announce that the Scrivener Solutions YouTube channel has officially launched. Now, over the past few years, I've added videos here and there to give little how-tos on various things. And you see, I'm all the time recording little videos for my staff and my clients, showing them how to do things. I should be sharing those tips with you guys, and sharing those tips and how-tos would be so beneficial. I love it when I, peek behind somebody else's curtain to see how they do things, but I just never made the time to actually pull the trigger to consistently post tutorial videos. Well, this is the year. Videos are going to be published every other Friday, beginning with January 1st. And on January 1st, the welcome video had published, and the next video will be on January 15th. Now, the channel is where my team and I will share tips and tricks on the tools and systems that we use the most. We'll focus on the service areas that we offer, like social media management, podcast production, email campaigns, virtual event support, content marketing, project management, and all those things. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how the channel grows and develops this year. I truly would like it to be a resource library for the solopreneur who may be a little tech phobic or not, or just busy, who must start out by doing everything yourself. Because most of us do that. We start out by ourselves, doing everything ourselves. And I would just like to be a resource to kind of help cut through the clutter. The reason being is that I was there. I started out doing everything myself. I was a freelancer and just trying to grab any clients I could. And I was not very good at the content marketing stuff. And it's kind of funny how it transitioned that is how we serve our clients. It's only content marketing things, because we know how much detail goes into it. After being on my own for a while, later I hired a team, and we are completely virtual. I don't have the pleasure of seeing my staff face to face very often. And, the experiences in leading a virtual team is a subject that I'll expound on later in podcast episodes. So for Scrivener Solutions, we've launched our YouTube channel starting January 1st. Go out there and there'll be a link in the show notes here that you can see the welcome video. You'll see some spattered videos from the past. I'm not going to take those down, but you're going to see the channel evolve over time. So then on the opposite week that the video publishes, a new blog post will publish on the Scrivener Solutions website. And this will also be about content marketing stuff, but it's in written form. And this will grow the company's content library with more and more practical content marketing resources. Now, ramping up my content calendar is very important because I realized something over the past 6 months or so. If you've been following this podcast for a while, you'll know that last year, Scrivener Solutions underwent a branding change. We moved away from considering ourselves a virtual assistant company to a content marketing agency. We still work virtually with our clients. However, we wanted to cut out some of the confusion of what we do. Really, we're not general virtual assistants that can, do general administrative work. We focused on content marketing. That's why we did the branding change. But by doing that branding change, there's still some confusion and work on my part. Not confusion on my part, but there's still some confusion as what we do and who we are. And there's work on my part to cut through that confusion and perceptions of how the company can help solopreneurs. And to cut the confusion and gain clarity while at the same time serving and attracting our ideal clients. That would be coaches, consultants, solopreneurs, personal brand builders. It's my belief that this clarity and this cutting the confusion, it comes through content creation. I believe this to be true for all businesses. Maintaining consistent content is what we do for our clients at Scrivener Solutions. Therefore, I feel it's super important to ramp up the company's content calendar to be a role model, and also, at the same time, serving those folks that follow us. Now, one of the unfortunate byproducts of changing our brand to being a content marketing agency is the perception of the word agency. That word suggests to many folks that we serve big brands, big companies. But Scrivener Solutions continues to serve solopreneurs, coaches, consultants, mainly those who are building personal brands. We like to work with small and micro businesses, and the word agency for many leads them to believe that we're not for them. And I want to change that perception. And what we don't consider ourselves is an advertising agency. For me, that advertising agency seems kind of sterile and not personal. And for us as a content marketing agency, we think of ourselves as relationship builders, because through content, that's how you build your business, is through relationships. And it's important to us to form a relationship with our clients and cater to them in a way that their personal message remains personal even though they're not doing all the tasks involved. Now, we also recognize that there comes a time when solopreneurs will need to scale their business by hiring a team. And for many, it's daunting to hire several independent contractors to do bits and pieces of projects and then have to manage several people. That's a lot of work, I know, because I lead a virtual team. Now, our business model is to provide a built-in team and use our systems so that our clients don't have to manage a whole bunch of individuals or manage the whole systems, all the details that are involved, and they can focus on their messaging and focus on a higher level. They don't have to work in their business. They're working on their business. So to make a long story short, through making the commitment for building Scrivener Solutions content library, I am excited to be helping other solopreneurs like you grow your business simply by being an open book of how we do things. Now, if how-to content marketing resources would be helpful to you, I really encourage you to go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, or sign up for this Scrivener Solutions monthly newsletter. You'll find the link right here in the show notes and on our website. And we'll send you a curated list, just a couple of bullet points of the top resources to check out. Another thing that we've been doing, and that's the number 2 goal of mine, but we've been really diving deep into this, is doing a lot of SOPs or documenting standard operating procedures. As a team, we have our processes, and most of which have been written down, or I've had tutorial videos or what have you, but they've been spattered and saved in a lot of different places. And we are really focusing on organizing them and standardizing them. We'll even share some of our checklists and procedures later on in the year. I'll keep you updated on that. So you'll be able to download some of those things. Maybe that'll help you out in your team with your processes. Now, although I've delayed in this organization project for far too long, I'm really enjoying the results of getting digitally organized. It's a lot of work, but I'm really liking the results. Now, it's funny how digital files can get really, really messy very quickly. Like with anything else, it's important to do a purge and a clean of your digital stuff. Oh, speaking of purge and clean, one thing that Robert and I did back in 2011 when we made the decision to free ourselves from the constraints of a corporate job and move into a work from anywhere lifestyle is that we sold practically everything we had and moved into a 38-foot RV. There's something just so freeing, like a big weight lifted to get rid of so much stuff. Well, over time, one collects more stuff. And Robert and I decided that it's time for another purge. And although we don't have all the big furniture and such from like we did in our last purge, we do realize we have way too much that we really don't need. And one of the biggest things, actually, it is the biggest thing that we'll be rid of this year, is our RV. It no longer serves us, as we like to be nomadic in a much, much smaller vehicle. And oh my goodness, downsizing and paring down is a ton of work. There are so many decisions to be made, and my head is spinning already, and I have this dread in the pit of my stomach that what needs to be done to accomplish this and what we need to do, it's so much easier to just put things off. But going through the work of paring down will be so freeing again. I just know it. And the work is worth it. It just takes a little time, but it'll get done. It's not something that we'll be able to do, nor do I think I have the strength in me to do it all in one day. So we've gotten a jump on that project as well. So now that the new year has kicked off, what of your plans have you started implementing? I would love to hear from you. Drop me either an email or send me a DM. You'll see all the links right here in the show notes. One last thought I'll share. Now, I would love to hear from you about the guests that I'm bringing on the show. A couple of months ago, I started bringing on guests to learn from them in their areas of expertise and to gain perspective as how they grow their lifestyle business. I do hope you enjoy them, and I have reached out to several guests, and I am working on having a guest interview every other week on this podcast. So I'm very excited about that. And what I'm really excited about is for our January guests, because since January is usually resolution implementation time, and the top 2 resolutions tend to have something to do with either health and or finance. So I've asked health expert Dr. Lisa Oshleski and financial expert Marissa Nielsen to share with us some ways to stay on target with our top resolutions. And I'm no different. Let me tell you, I have my health resolutions, and Robert and I are doing this together. We had slacked off for way too long, and have to say we're having a good time. I'm getting rejuvenated on cooking again. 2020, I didn't really want to cook at all. I don't know why, but I didn't. And then with our financial plans, and part of that is paring down. That's part of our financial plans. Not having so much stuff helps a lot. Just freeing your mind, and it's not so bad on the pocketbook. Well, anyway, next week, you'll meet Dr. Lisa. Then be sure to tune in on January 27th to meet Marissa. I've already recorded the interviews, and I have to tell you, both have motivated me to no end. I can't wait to share the conversations with you. So, if you haven't done so already, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to this show in your favorite podcast player. You'll be notified as soon as the episodes release. If you're on my mailing list, you'll also get a notification on Fridays via email. But this year, let me tell you, I'm planning on some bonus travel adventure episodes where they won't be shared via email. The way that you'll hear about them, about any travel antics that Robert and I have, will be through subscribing to this show in your podcast player. Well, I'm going to wrap things up and thank you for joining me today. I do hope that you will drop me that note and share how you've been kicking off your 2021 plans. Until next time, have a fantastic week.